Imagine you walk into a shop where everything on display falls into two extreme groups. On one side, you see products that look exactly like what you already own. Nothing surprising, nothing exciting. Your brain says, I already know this, so you walk past without stopping. On the other side, you see products that look so strange you are not even sure what they are for. Your brain says, this feels risky, so again you walk past. But then there is something in the middle. It feels new, yet not confusing. It feels different, yet still comfortable. And without thinking too hard, you stop. That moment explains something powerful about human behavior. It explains why some ideas succeed, why some products sell, why some creators grow quickly online, and why some videos hold attention while others are ignored. For thousands of years, people have asked the same question in different ways. Why do we like what we like? Why do some things attract us immediately while others do not? Why do some messages spread across the world while others disappear almost instantly? Long ago, people believed beauty had a mathematical formula. Later thinkers believed taste followed rules of reason and structure. Today, we live in a world filled with advertising, algorithms, and constant updates telling us that newer always means better. New phone, new fashion, new feature, new version, new opportunity, new trend. Everywhere you look, something is trying to convince you that new is the answer. But here is the truth most people do not realize. People do not actually love things that are completely new. They love things that feel familiar first, and new second. Your brain is designed to protect you. It is constantly trying to decide what is safe, what is useful, and what deserves attention. When something feels too unfamiliar, your brain slows down. It becomes cautious, it becomes uncertain. But when something feels familiar, your brain relaxes. Familiarity creates comfort. Comfort creates trust. Trust creates attention, and attention creates opportunity. Think about music for a moment. People often say they enjoy discovering new songs. They search playlists. They explore new artists. They follow recommendations. But when you look closely at what people replay again and again, something interesting appears. Most favorite songs share patterns people already recognize. Similar rhythms, similar structures, similar emotional tones. The song feels new enough to notice, but familiar enough to enjoy. That balance makes the difference. The same pattern appears in films. Every year, many of the biggest films are connected to stories people already know. They continue earlier stories. They adapt books people have read. They revisit characters people already recognize. This is not accidental. It happens because familiarity reduces effort. And when something requires less effort to understand, people accept it more easily. Even something as simple as seeing your own face shows this effect clearly. Many people prefer how they look in the mirror compared to how they look in photographs. The mirror version feels comfortable. The photograph sometimes feels unfamiliar. The difference is not always about appearance. It is about recognition. Your brain prefers what it recognizes, not what is perfect, not what is new, what is familiar. This preference did not begin with modern technology. It began long before cities existed. Imagine walking through open land searching for food thousands of years ago. You see two plants. One looks completely unfamiliar. The other looks like something you have seen before. Which one would you trust? Most people would choose the familiar one, because familiar often meant safe. Safe meant survival, and survival shaped how your brain still works today. This creates an important question for creators, entrepreneurs, teachers, and anyone trying to share ideas online. If people prefer familiarity, how do new ideas ever succeed? How do new businesses grow? How do new creators attract followers? How do new products become popular? The answer is simple once you see it. Success does not come from choosing between familiar and new. Success comes from combining both. Imagine a bridge connecting two places. On one side is what people already understand. On the other side is what they have never experienced before. If your idea stays completely on the familiar side, people get bored. If your idea jumps too far to the unfamiliar side, people get confused. But if your idea stands in the middle of the bridge, people become curious. Curiosity creates attention. Attention creates learning. Learning creates trust, and trust creates growth. Many successful designers understood this long before the internet existed. They realized people do not reject change. They reject change they cannot understand. So instead of introducing something completely different, they improved what people already used. A car became smoother, a train became faster, a chair became more comfortable, a bottle became easier to hold. Each improvement felt new, but still familiar, and that is why people accepted it. Technology companies learned the same lesson in surprising ways. Imagine opening a music app that recommends only songs you have never heard before. At first, that sounds exciting, but after a short time, it becomes tiring. Your brain wants something it recognizes, something it trusts, something it already enjoys. When people were given a mix of familiar songs and new songs together, they stayed longer, they listened more, they enjoyed the experience more. This shows something powerful. To introduce something new successfully, you often need something familiar beside it. Now think about fashion. Fashion changes over time, but not suddenly. It moves step by step. A small change appears, people notice it, then it becomes normal, then another change appears, then that becomes normal too. Over time, the entire style shifts, but it never happens all at once. This gradual movement helps people accept change comfortably. Even names follow this pattern. Parents often choose names that feel slightly different but not completely unusual. They want something recognizable but still special, something safe but still fresh. This pattern appears everywhere once you begin to notice it. It appears in music, it appears in branding, it appears in technology, it appears in storytelling, it appears in communication, it appears in education, it appears in persuasion. Think about conversations between people who disagree. Many arguments fail because both sides begin by explaining why the other person is wrong. That approach rarely works because people protect what they already believe. A stronger approach begins somewhere else. It begins with shared understanding. It begins with common ground. It begins with familiarity, then slowly introduces something new. This approach works better because people move step by step, not jump by jump. Now think about what this means for creators online today. Many people believe success comes from being completely different from everyone else. They try to sound complicated. They try to appear advanced. They try to create something nobody has seen before. But success often begins somewhere simpler. Success begins with clarity. When people understand your message quickly, they stay longer. When they stay longer, they trust you faster. When they trust you faster, they follow you more closely. And when they follow you more closely, growth becomes possible. For example, instead of saying something complicated like "I teach digital transformation strategy," you could say something clearer like "I help people learn skills they can use to earn online." The second message feels familiar, it feels understandable. Then you can introduce something new. Instead of saying "I teach advanced automation workflows," you could say "I show you how to save hours every week using simple tools." Again, familiar first, then new. This approach helps people connect with your message faster. It helps people remember what you say. It helps people return to your content. Platforms reward content that keeps attention. When viewers understand your message quickly, they stay longer. When they stay longer, your videos reach more people. This is how growth begins. The same principle applies to products. If something feels too complicated, people hesitate. If something feels understandable, people explore it. Think about smartphones when they first appeared. They did not arrive as completely unfamiliar machines. They looked like phones people already used, but with something extra. That extra became the future. Every successful idea usually follows this pattern. Familiar enough to understand, different enough to notice. When you understand this, something important changes. You stop trying to impress people. You start trying to connect with people. You stop trying to be complicated. You start trying to be clear. You stop trying to sound advanced. You start trying to sound helpful. This shift makes a powerful difference because people follow clarity. People trust simplicity. People return to usefulness. If you are building content online, this understanding can change everything. Instead of asking how to be different from everyone else, ask a better question. What does my audience already understand? Start there, then ask another question. What small improvement can I introduce that makes this idea interesting? Add that next. That simple structure can transform your results. It can change how people respond to your videos. It can change how people respond to your products. It can change how people respond to your teaching. And over time, it can change how people respond to you. Because growth online is not only about visibility, it is about connection. Connection begins with familiarity, then grows through discovery, then becomes trust, then becomes opportunity. This is especially important if you want to build digital income today. Many people think earning online requires complicated technology or advanced knowledge, but most successful digital journeys begin with simple skills applied consistently. Skills like creating useful content, skills like recommending helpful products, skills like building small systems that save time, skills like understanding how people make decisions. When you understand how people think, learning digital skills becomes easier. When learning becomes easier, progress becomes faster. And when progress becomes faster, confidence begins to grow. If you would like to start learning practical digital skills that help you build income step by step using tools you already have, you can begin today inside Digital Skills Academy. Visit digitalskills.academy and explore simple training designed to help beginners start creating content, learning online business skills, and building confidence in the digital world. Your journey does not begin with something completely new. It begins with something familiar, then grows into something powerful.